Hello everyone, we're talking about Mercury 9 here. Super Zinger's just waiting on decals. I will make that video when we get there. Command Center. Just wanted to show you guys the Command Center because it is almost done with its paint job. Okay? Basically, this is what I did. I took some Tamiya white, flat white, and I want to say royal gray. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. And I mixed them. Two different coats. First coat was pretty much, let me see if I can remember correctly. It was 55 drops of white to 1 drop of gray. Yeah, I did 50 drops of white and 10 drops of gray. And then mixed it with thinner and sprayed it. I'm trying to match the color concrete, and that's not really concrete colored. So what I did after that is I redid it, and I did 10 drops of white to 1 drop of gray, and that gave it more concrete color. Now when I sprayed the second coat of paint, I did not completely cover the first coat. I just left some dark spots. Okay, let's move this light here. There, now we got a better view of it. I left some dark spots, okay? Then I got some oil paints out, okay? And some Turpenoid. In fact, here's the oil paint right here. It's Mars Black. It didn't have to be Mars Black. It could have been black. I know these oil paints are expensive. You can see the price on it, $15 for that tube. But literally, I was sticking a toothpick in the cap and just dotting it on there. I use so very little of this oil paint. I'll probably still have this tube of oil paint 10 years from now. And if I weather every single model, you probably won't even look much different than this. That's a lifetime supply right there. And I rubbed the surface with Turpenoid, and then I just dotted the oil paint along the top. Then I took a Q-tip, dampened with Turpenoid, and went down with it to streak it down. And then when I was done with the downward motion, I took a piece of paper towel moistened in Turpenoid and went down as well, and that gave it the streaking. Okay, now what's left? The roof needs some attention. I'm going to use some watered down PVA on all these roof spots, and then we're going to put in some very fine sand. These rails all need to be painted aluminum, and as well as this tower. And I got to put the shutters in here, and she's done. Oh, I got to paint the doors too. I want to paint these doors up. Okay, I want to paint this door, and this door, and this door. Okay, so I got to come up with a color of paint for those. Now I'm thinking dark gray. All right, well that's where I stand with this one. It is almost done. Just a little bit more work, like a half hour worth of work, maybe maybe an hour and a half, and this gets mounted on the base. All right, can't say last video because in real life, you saw that video 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. I was working on these street lights, basically taking a 1mm by 1/2 mm surface mount LED, soldering magnet wire to it, sticking this through a brass pipe. Okay, these, I did my research, these are in scale with the 1/350 kit. Alright, they do light up. I used some Abe's epoxy sculpt to sculpt the top, and then I covered it with Mr. Surfacer 500. This one's the roughest of the lot. It needs a little bit of sanding work to get where I'd like it to be. But they do work, and I can show you that fairly quickly. That's not hard to do. I'm about to go paint the Mercury 9. The Command Center sitting behind me, and I'm going to show you that in a minute and what I've done. I detailed a little bit of that, but like I said, they do work. They throw out a tremendous amount of light. I had some friends over today looking at it, and they were like, is that in scale? That's throwing out more light than you think street light. No. Street lights throw out a tremendous amount of light. So I think it is within scale. If you ask me, that looks much like what a street light would look like. One of the good things about the Mr. Surfacer is it does light block, so my street light here no longer looks like it's throwing light everywhere like they did last night when I got finished soldering them together. Once I get that sanded, these get paint and they get put on the base. I'm about to go paint the Mercury 9 and the base. Okay? So let me zoom this back out. Cut the power off, set this down so it can dry some more. And let's talk about the command center, because some of it's bugging me a little. Alright. I didn't get to detail this in video earlier because of the way my situation was, but I did talk about how I streaked this. The oil paints are dry because I put them on so thin. What I've done since then is I painted the doors. And most of the doors came out really well. This one didn't. I need to touch this one up a little bit. These look a little off, but they'll look okay once I'm done with them. The only thing left really is paint these rails at the top. And this thing's done. And yeah, I know some of you've noticed that's pointing over a little bit. I got a fix for that. It won't stand up straight no matter what I do to it. I got a fix for that. You'll get to see it in a little bit. Bam, this is almost done. I just have a little bit more to do on this, just a teeny bit. I need to touch up the paint in a couple of spots where it got bad. And paint these rails around the roof. And I want to fix the roof too. I'm going to do the roof in a little bit tonight too. I got a big list of things to do tonight before I go to bed. Big list. It's about 10 o'clock at night too, so I need to get moving. If I get that list done tomorrow, means I'm just doing, I can attach that to the base tomorrow. I can build the radar antenna tomorrow and paint it. And that tells me I'm getting near done. The C-130 is going to be like one of the last things I do. I hate to say it, but I just want to make sure it doesn't keep me from getting everything else done. That's the important part. I can just park some helicopters on there. I looked the helicopters over really well today. They won't take anything to do. So we'll see. I know I can get the C-130 built. I don't know if I can get it lit in the time that's left. There's the tricky part. So here we go. I'm going to go get to work. Just thought I'd give you guys a brief update so you can see where I'm at. Talk to you later. Alright, we're about to paint the engine bells on the Mercury 9. I'm going to use those Sotar again. I'm not going to use the Patriot 105. I need to clean this thing a little bit better than it's been cleaned in the past. One of the reasons why I'm going to use the Sotar is I don't want to mask anything, and that's okay because there's going to be other colors on top of the Mercury 9 when I do the engine bells. I want to see how precise I can be, because I will be masking it and I will be painting other colors, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's turn the compressor on. I'm going to paint some of this in here, pour some of this in here. I'm using a copper color for this. Now, I want to say something about the Alclad paints. It doesn't take much to cover for colors. It really doesn't take much to cover the colors at all. I'm also not going to do much in the way of protecting my hands here, because I'm not too worried about getting it paint everywhere. That's why I'm using the Sotar. Uh-oh. For some reason she stopped painting right then. She's painting now. I don't know what that was. Again, I'm not worried about that overspray. It'll be taken care of. I got a darker color that's coming on in a little bit. I got a blockage. Somehow I got a blockage in this Sotar when I go to paint this. Wouldn't that figure? That you get a blockage when you're trying to spray paint on camera. Anyone surprised? I'm not. pull the needle out of this thing and clean it. That's what that blockage is telling me. Pull the needle and clean it. The model is so big, I can hardly tilt it to paint it. I don't know why I'm bothering to paint inside those engine bells, because you won't be able to see them with the model sitting like this. You'll be able to see the bottom of the engine bells, yes. She's blocked up. I got all the paint out of where I'm going to. She is now blocked. Yeah, she's completely blocked. I'm going to have to really clean the brush up. Checked it before I painted too. But it looks like I got all the paint on there I wanted to, for the most part anyhow. So it's okay, she blocked up. And again, that was surprisingly little paint. In a couple hours, I'm going to paint the rest of the body of the ship. I'm going to mask off those engine bells. The Alclad paint cures very, very quickly. So I'm not too worried about that. I'll be able to mask that and paint the rest of the ship within an hour or two. I'll be back in a little while.